My guest this morning, two very beautiful ladies, black beauties, I must say, and a gentleman, a Nigerian, an Arsenal fan, and a journalist with the BBC. Peter Okwoche, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
First time seeing you in person. I mean, I see you on TV all the time. Great guy you are.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm glad Komla always, dominated you when it came to Black Stars and Super Eagles.
You're right, because, Komla was the boss player, know, so he was the boss until Nigeria got crowned African champion.
That's a good one. So you came down for the funeral.
Yes, sadly so.
And how has that gone for you?
It's been a very painful experience. A lot of people see Komla and I on TV, and what they don't realize is we not only work for the BBC, we not only work together for the past 6, 7, 8 years. Komla and I have been friends for 25 years, so we met at the University of Jos in Nigeria when he was in medical school. I was already in the university and all that, and he came in, young, fresh-faced, skinny kid. Absolutely, and
Miami Heat won.
Miami, yes, they did, and that was Komla's team as well. And Komla performed this fantastic trick, spinning the ball on his finger. And afterwards, he said, "You want to give it a go?" I said, "You'd like to disgrace me on TV, don't you?" And he didn't. But I'll tell you a funny thing that happened after that. We got the captain of the Nigerian basketball team, the Tigers, came into the program.
Oh, the same ones that were humiliated by the Americans in the Olympics?
Can we not go into that? I'm telling you what happened.
Well, you brought it up.
Anyway, this guy comes in and we told him, we have this presenter who was able to spin the ball on his finger. Why don't you do it for us as well? And he couldn't. And this was a professional basketball player who'd actually played in the NBA.
Wow.
And he couldn't do it. And I said, but, our presenter...
And a Ghanaian did it.
Yeah, he did. But it wasn't just an ordinary Ghanaian, it was Komla.
A very influential Ghanaian. Also on the show, Head of Strategy and Planning, Ifwa Frimpong, from, they want to call themselves BLU, but it's Blue.
We are BLU.
And they are 4G providers. And a lady working in that area. I mean, women are really pushing it, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, how good is your knowledge, your football knowledge?
So I live it through my husband, but I can hold on my own.
Okay. And then Seto King, very, very loud on Twitter, I must say. But the cameras and the lights here have just tamed you. Are you all right? Don't worry, you're fine. You have Peter here. If you hit a snag, just go to Peter. He'll help you out. Anyway, so did you ever meet Komla?
No.
But you listen to him and you watch them on TV?
Sometimes, once in a while.
Yeah, and what did you think of Komla Duma?
He's someone to emulate.
Yeah.
And I think he put Ghana on a high pedestal.
Yeah. Okay, how about you? Did you ever meet him?
I didn't, but I watched him a lot on Focus on Africa, and it's just really tragic that he won't be presenting the show anymore. You won't tune in and see Komla presenting the show.
Yeah, that's very true. Anyway, did you ever at any point in time feel that you had a relationship with him?
Not really, but I think we all, being Ghanaian, we all kind of tied into...
We owned him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now I think all of us are kind of owning the sadness, because he was up there with everybody else, and it was so unexpected. Nobody really believed that it could happen to Komla, and we're dealing with it now.
Yeah. Peter, were you shocked when you found out that Komla had, passed on?
Well, it's. I think it actually goes beyond shock. I mean, I still can't explain it to myself. Because we'd worked on Friday. Komla and I, we talked a lot. So we'd start every single day in the office. We'd spend the first hour just talking, and the girls on our team would say, "Oh, you guys gossip more than we do." Well, and so. With that Friday the 17th of January, we'd finished work, and after work every day we have our little feedback. We finished our feedback about 8 o'clock in the evening, and I just said, "Charlie, I'll see you on Monday."
Oh, you say Charlie?
Well, because of Komla, I do. Yeah. I said, I'll see you on Monday, man, and we bumped fists, and I just went away. And the next day, I just started getting all these frantic text messages and saying, "Have you called your friend? What's happening?" You know, and I said, "There's nothing happening. What are you guys talking about?" You know. But then, sadly, you know, it's true. It's quite a shock. I still can't get over it. It's a very very painful. You know, but I just thank God that in his death, you know, his greatness is being celebrated. He's you know, I mean, there's so many tributes have poured in from all over the world. You know, Bill Gates, his wife, the Ghanaian president who we actually had on our show. You know,
I saw that interview with him.
You know, and different people. Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of the UN. It's just great. It's just great to see that this 41-year-old man, you know, and in the scheme of things, 41 is young.
Very.
You know, and this 41-year-old young man has garnered so much of a followership. You know, I mean, I know that the Gateses used to come on our show because of Komla.
Oh,
yes, he had a personal relationship with them. I mean, I'm not saying they were friends, but they knew of him, you know. And I think it's how a lot of people saw him. You know, people who never knew who he was, who had never met him before, you know, felt drawn to him because he had this personality that, you know, just drew you to. I remember a story he told me once. He was in a supermarket in West London, and he walked into the supermarket, and this old man in his 80s, grey beard and all that, said, "I know you. You're the guy with the glasses on the BBC." And Komla said he was trying to place this guy's accent because he didn't, you know, he couldn't quite figure out where it was. And the man said, "I watch you in New Zealand."
Oh, wow.
You know, that's the other side of the world. You know, so I mean, that's the kind of person Komla is. I mean, you're all saying now that Ghana owned him. I think Africa owned Komla. You know, it's
true.
just it's just a great guy. Great guy.
Very, very great guy. But what kind of colleague was he to you?
You know, I mean, I'm 4 years older than Komla is. So he's 41, I'm 45. But I saw Komla as my big brother because I've been in journalism for 20 years. Every single day I learned something new from him. He was the master. You know, he was absolutely, he was a delight to work with, very, very easygoing. You know, always had a listening ear, wanted to help you if you needed your help, as long as you asked him. As long as you asked him, it's okay, do it this way. And he almost always got it right. You know, so he was really easy to work with, great guy to work with, you know, and he was the best, he was the best.
Okay. Did you ever watch any games with him, football?
You know, I think Komla is probably my favorite Ghanaian because he supported Arsenal as well. Yeah.
You had to.
I had to. I mean, we bantered a lot about football because we supported the same club. You know, that side was okay, but when it came to national teams, I remember at the last Nations Cup, and we were really hoping that Nigeria would meet Ghana in
You were lucky you didn't meet us. Would have just.
Well, if you wanted to thrash us, you should have beaten Mali. Because Mali beat you, we thrashed Mali.
Kind of painful.
Ouch.
Anyway, you know, everybody and the whole team, you know, the whole Focus on Africa team was hoping that Nigeria would get to meet Ghana in the semi-finals because that would have just been like heaven TV for Komla and I. We would have had so much fun with that game. Sadly, the Black Stars weren't good enough, you know, and Nigeria went on to win the tournament, African champions.